let's go to some real Steve Aoki. Have you guys ever heard of Steve Aoki?
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
a DJ. He
loves
live.
to throw a cake.
He does throw cake, and sometimes he doesn't throw cake, and that becomes problematic to the people.
I'd be so fucking pissed if I went to see Steve Aoki and he didn't throw a cake. I would be like...
Here's Ticketmaster reviews. That's right. We're going to the Ticketmaster reviews, everybody. Steve Aoki left Granite disappointed. 2 stars. The show started too late. Steve Aoki is great, but there should be an alert that he doesn't come on stage until 12 before you buy the ticket.
Yeah, this is just there's an alert. It's called knowing anything about a concert. It's called going to a musical performance ever once in your life and realizing this is part of the game plan. They get you in the venue. They want you buying drinks. They want you chilling. They want to make money off of it. And then they hold you in there as long as they think they can. And they push it pretty far sometimes, definitely.
But isn't techno supposed to go till 2, 3, 4 in the morning?
Techno would be the worst of it, I would say. You know what I mean? Like those types of like DJ performances and stuff, I would expect to start the latest. Yeah. But it is nice to have a set times if you can get them. That's incredible. I
don't like it.
No, you don't like to know when the acts
I
are
don't like
on?
people knowing.
Oh yeah, no.
I think it's a bad policy to let people know that stuff, and I know that comes off like as a performer. I just think it sucks that like sometimes you put together a gig, and everybody contacts you and says, "So what time are you going on?"
Yeah,
just see you and leave.
It used to be like that a lot when I was playing shows in bands too. Like you put together a show and you want people to come and see all the bands because you think they're cool, you put it together. But then again, now I can see like maybe somebody can't fucking get there until 10 o'clock or something like that, or
they want to know, am I gonna miss you?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I won't be able to get there until 10:15, or am I gonna even be able to see you? But yeah, I think there are a lot of people who are like, yo, especially nowadays, like, hey, what time are you on? And they're going to get there at that time. They're going to watch you. They're going to say, see a great set afterwards. Like, man, fucking kill that. And then you're never going to see them again. Yeah. They're going to be back home in fucking 15 minutes.
I just hated that. This person with a good name is Hopeful for Fun is their name. They say late. Steve was not performing by 12 a.m. The event started at 9. I had to leave before they even mentioned he would be starting soon. So this person got there at 9.
Yeah, I think that's probably doors 9. I'm guessing there's probably an opening act that probably came on at 10:15, maybe 2 openers, perhaps. I don't know how Steve Aoki runs his shows and stuff, but yeah, I would guess that's 9 o'clock doors, and he was probably there a bit early, probably would be my guess.
Waste of money, says Scott. 2 tickets to go into a nightclub for $152? Only reason I paid this much was because Steve Aoki performs cake throwing at the end of every one of his shows.
Come on. They didn't say that.
Yeah, I swear. During this show, he just said at the end, in the middle of the song, "My name is Steve Aoki. Good night, Boston," and then walked off the stage. No refund or partial refund offered.
Wait, okay, so if this dude's in Boston, I'll throw a cake in his face for half that price.
Wait a second, though. This is what you said. You're like, you'd be so mad if you went to his show and he didn't throw cake. So this is a person who experienced that, and it sounds like they are very mad.
Well, I mean, I wasn't being sincere.
This person is.
It's so funny to be like, well, I wouldn't have gone.
Right.
But they were going to throw cake at me.
I paid $75 to see a guy throw cake, and it didn't happen.
I Am Railbreaker says 4 stars. Dance floor too crowded, and artist was more interested in himself than the music, it seemed. But the energy was good, and if you could dance, you had a good time. So
that sounds like a pretty standard review for a DJ.
Here's a 1 star, says, this was the worst show I've ever attended. I paid for the early entry and buffet. At this
Buffet? Was this in Vegas or something?
Yeah, why is
Charlotte.
there
Actually, it's in Charlotte.
why is there a buffet at the Steve Aoki show?
I think the last thing you want to do before going to dance for 3 hours or
Just
whatever
have a
is
buffet dinner.
like piling on the fucking crab legs and shit, you know?
I'm just gonna have 6 pork cutlets.
There is a club. It's one of the longest running clubs in the United States called the Newport Music Hall here. And we figured out after a while, it wasn't like a mystery, that you could buy pre-show passes where you get to come in early and you get a hot dog and a Coke. And so broke at the time, and they costed $2.99. So you got $3 on top of this ticket, which at the time was probably like $16, $17. We bought them every fucking time. And every fucking time I ate that hot dog and got the worst heartburn of my life and then moshed to like corn or death.
Right.
Like that. It was just miserable. And I was like, why am I eating this hot dog? And then, ordering sex on the beach at the bar. Like, I was just a menace.
You ordered sex on the beach?
I told you that.
Oh, yeah.
I would go to bars to
order sex on the beach. And then also, yeah, you used to have Jello shots.
Yeah, they don't sell those purple.
Is that how you got into drinking? Like you really like had to try the sweet bullshitty stuff, and yeah. I mean, that was me too. But that was,
you can get past it. I couldn't.
Not me. I went straight into the heavy duty swill. I was drinking. I'm not joking. I was drinking straight up like vodka, and I was drinking just like disgusting beer, like Wildcat, and like 40 ounces of like just the nastiest malt liquor and stuff like that. That was my entry point into drinking.
I did Mad Jack. It was called Mad Jack. It was like my drink of choice when I was growing up.
Is that
and
like
Jägermeister?
Weird color or something?
Yeah, it's Jack. Yukon Jack, but tastes like black licorice.
I would like to Jack Daniels or something. That would but I would just drink beer most of the time, just like standard beer.
No, I used to drink a lot of beer, like when I'd go to tons of shows. But now I would be like, I'm getting sleepy from all this beer.
Yeah, I don't drink anything anymore.
Yeah, we're all non-drinkers.
You guys are sober now?
Yeah, I don't.
I'm
not sober. Sorry.
The buffet.
My laugh, by the way, was not for me. It was for Bryan.
No, I just crossed the border to try to buy illegal Xanax.
Yeah, so the audience knows that he's but you are fairly sober,
I'm fairly
Bryan.
sober,
and I take weed products, and that's the only stuff I do.
So this next line is a classic guy's mistake. The buffet claimed to have many vegetarian and vegan options, and for $25, I expected at least halfway decent food. I don't know why you would expect that for
Buddy, why would you? Why? No, I don't know why you would ever even entertain the idea of going to the Steve Aoki buffet before Are you sure this is for the Steve Aoki show?
It is. Because I expected at least halfway decent food. The food was cold, first of all, and the available options were a plastic wrapped plate of cheap salad with only fast food pack of ranch dressing on the side, and a plastic wrapped plate of cheap burger, a cheap hot dog, and cheap beans. Again,
Dude's eating beans.
Steve Aoki show, and I'm eating cheap cold beans.
This motherfucker eating beans at the club.
These cheap beans are killing me.
Cold cheap beans, man. I got a line, dude. Like honestly, $25 for cold cheap beans. That's ridiculous.
Again, all cold. While we were eating, we got to enjoy music for 3 to 5 minutes at a time before it died repeatedly. We got to enjoy the company of a security guard from the venue who watched us to make sure we didn't leave the designated outside eating area. He was the most enjoyable part of the experience. Unfortunately, he was the venue's employee, and therefore I can give no positive review for this experience on behalf of Steve Aoki and his team. So that was a ripoff.
How was the show?
He's not even. He's still reviewing the
He
buffet.
never mentioned the show. Maybe just like, hey, take the L on the. But hey, I fucked up. I paid $25 for this buffet and it's shit. Let's get into the show and let's enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like we've all sunk $25 on some shit that didn't work out. You know, it's not. But
there's more. He goes, my friend and I ended up leaving the show about 15 minutes into the set. As an active festival and show attendee, I can honestly say this was the worst crowd I've ever experienced. The lack of crowd etiquette and just simple human decency was appalling. The one good thing about this event was the team who actually worked for the venue. I've been to this venue previously for shows, and I've always had a great time. This show was a huge letdown and an even bigger waste of money. So he only stayed for 15 minutes anyway.
yeah,
But
like,
he
who knows?
didn't
You can't judge a show based on 15 minutes, the first 15 minutes of it. That's like not fair. You can't be like, this fucking movie sucks, but you only watch 15 minutes of the movie. That's not fair, you know? You got to give it at least like half the show, I feel like.